Now we've got our end cut off, we're all cut to length, so we're going to move that out of the way, and then what we're going to do is come to each end and pre-drill the holes where the pins are going to go. So sometimes you can use this dot, which is the center, but in this case, on this post, it's not really the center. So I'm just going to grab my tape, measure across, put a line in the middle, measure the other way, put a line in the middle, so I've got a little cross for the exact middle. Do the same at the other end. And again, what I want to do here is make sure I don't drill too deep. At this end, that's going to go against the half pin, so the corner end. I can kind of drill as deep as I want, it's not going to matter too much, but I need to make sure it's at least that deep. Maybe a little bit more, so that the post can slot on there the whole way. At the other end, I don't want it to go too deep. Otherwise, if I've drilled the hole into my post, my horizontal post here too deep, when I go to push this pin through, it could go way too far and not leave me with a little tail that I need to wrap my wire over. But what I am able to do is, because this is going eventually into the horizontal post with the grain of the wood, if I need to, I can do two things. I can really just hammer hard on here to drive it through if I've made my hole a little bit shallow. I can hammer onto here, or if all else fails, I can come through and cut this off with the grinder. So at the end, it's going to have the on the end that runs down the fence line. I want to make sure that my hole is about that deep, kind of deep. But it's not going to matter if it's too shallow, but it is going to matter if it's too deep. And at the corner end, it will really be a real problem if it's too short, because I won't be able to push my post all the way over here. So I can make this end as long as I want, and it's not going to make any much real difference. So here's my post on the ground. This end's going to go up into the corner, so I'm going to drill that hole in the center as long as I need to, and that hole a little bit shorter than what the pin is up there. And again, what I'm going to do here is kind of what I did with the string line, because it's very important that these holes run parallel up the center of the pole. So I'm going to, once I've marked my center, I'm going to start it a little bit. Then I'm going to look from the top and see if it's aligned this direction. Then I'm going to come down and look from the side and see if it's aligned up and down. So I'm going to check, and I'm making sure it's aligned along the pole, so it's drilling straight through into the center. And I'm going to check it, drill it in a bit more, check it again, drill it in a bit more. So this is my corner end, so I can afford to kind of drill this one pretty deep. When I come up this end, that's going to go on the direction of the fence line. I want to make sure I don't drill too far. So here, the circle is basically in the middle. So I'll just pick that up, start it, then I'll look from the top. Yep, that's pretty good in this direction. You can see if it was on an angle like that, that's no good, neither's that, that's pretty good. And then I'm gonna lie right down and look from the side. And again, I want to make sure, nice angle, nice like that. And then I'm going to drill in. This is the one I don't want to be too deep. So, I've done it about that deep in that case, which should be fine. Now the pole is prepared and ready to put in.